yourself. You really do know where you fit on that spectrum. We had some incredibly high grades in here. We have some kids who will be close to 100 average. We have a decent number of kids who are going to be in the upper 80s and low 90s. But then we have kids who today you're doing really well, and I hope that's a great reminder for the third market period, or a great omen for the third market period. But you need to make your success more important than your socializing. That's not to say you can never talk to your friends, but with some of you guys, the first thing you ever want to do is talk to your friend or get out of the room and go to the bathroom. You know, this is the first year I ever had a 5-pass limit. I never used to do that. But there are kids in this class and next period who will go every day if you give them a chance. Can't learn that way. So we'll see what happens. Now we're about to start a new chapter. It's a brand new kind of chapter, and it's very different than what we've been doing so far. Very different. So it is quite possible for you to have been struggling all year long, and then you do this stuff, and as long as you can do an equation, you're like, man, this is the easiest stuff of the year. And then there are others who might say, oh man, I've been kicking butt. I am great at that scientific notation. I know my exponent laws. I know I'm really good at equations. I can do inequalities. I can do functions. And then you hit this stuff and you're like, huh? This stuff's really hard. So I don't know where you're going to fit in that spectrum. What I am saying is it's a fresh start. Everybody has 100 average. And if you intend to make sure that you pass for the year, Jamie, if you intend to do that, then this is about it. You have given, if you failed both market periods, you have given yourself about as much, you put yourself right up against the edge. And if you don't do the job, you're going to end up failing. Much more than likely. Okay. So we start off with a series of do-it questions that are just like the do-it questions that we started in the last chapter. And then we will build out and start going over all of this new stuff. So, without any further ado, first one, Falcondra is 4.1 times 10 to the 10th miles away from the sun. Paralandra is 8.05 times 10 to the 15th, about how many times further? Look, it says the word about, which is very important. So if you notice, I'm multiplying by 2. And it's going to be 2 times 10 to the 5th. Okay? All right, are we good on that?
Yeah.
All right, stop doing homework, paying attention on what we are learning now. Okay, next up, which of the following is the solution to the inequality? That would be choice D. Okay. Choice D, because look, there's a few different ways to do this. This one I'll just show you it by checking. Let's plug in a -1. What's -4 times -1?
Negative
4.
4. What's 4 plus 5?
9.
Is 9 less than 11?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, those symbols, difference between greater than and less than, is at the end of the number lines. Okay? If you try -2, -4 times -2 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 is not less than 11, so that can't be the answer. Now, the next one. I noticed on the test, having graded them all, there was a whole section on your test that was all about evaluating these functions. And if you got a good grade on the test, as I went through that section, you got like none wrong. Maybe 1 or 2. And if you didn't do well on the test, wrong, 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 wrong. So you got to make sure that you're able to do these kind of things, okay? Now, on your paper, I believe this says -1/3. Okay. So the input is 6, so I'm going to plug in a 6. So it becomes -1/3 times 6 minus 5. And we talked about how you just divide the 3 into 6, easiest to get started. How many times does 3 go into 6? 2. -1 times 2 is -2, minus 5 more is -7. Okay? As far as these function rules go, remember we're always thinking y equals mx plus b. In this case, 0 pairs up with -4, so it's -4 at the end. And this is going up by 1s, that's the change in x. The y's are going up by 3s, so you get 3/1. So it's y equals 3x minus 4. That's my correct function rule there. If I take a look, oh, and this box here, notice it goes 1, 2, 3, 10. A little tricky there. Plug the 10 in here. What's 3 times 10? 30 minus 4? 26. Okay? If we take a look at the next one, what am I going up by here? 24. Oh, this one's only 22. It's actually 22s. This one should have been 42, right? Because all the others are 22s. Sorry about that. And then this is going up by 2s. So 22 over 2 is 11. If you got 12 because you did it the other way, that's okay. So y equals 11x, and then you have to find out 0, so I gotta go backwards 22. That would be 20. So y equals 11x plus 20. If you got y equals 12x plus 18, that would be okay too. That means you interpreted it as 24. I was the fault on that. As far as your graphs go, it says which of the two graphs is a function. The first one is a function, right? It passes the vertical line test. And which of these ordered pairs is a function? The first one. Second one has double negative 4s in the x place. Okay, any questions?
No.
All right, so that's a really good review of a lot of the concepts that you learned in functions, a lot of the things you have to do. Okay, so today, go ahead, hurry up. All right, so today we're going to start talking about shapes. And this is why it is so weird. It could be good weird, it could be bad weird. If you like to draw, you're probably going to like this particular work that we do now. There's not a lot of algebra in it. It's a lot of recognizing certain things. Next year in the high school, you take a course called Common Core Algebra 1. You need to pass the Regents exam in that class. You cannot opt out. You need to pass the Regents exam in that class in order to graduate high school. If you don't pass it, you do not graduate. It is as simple as that. Then the next year is geometry. So what we're about to start showing you now is really for when you're in 10th grade. You don't do much of this at all in 9th grade. So we're going to go through it, we're going to teach it obviously, and we'll see what happens. Now, we shift gears dramatically, begin to study geometry. Our first concept is to comprehend the possible relationships between geometric shapes. Let's consider these two pairs of shapes. Tell me some of the things you see here. Davis.
A trapezoid.
Yeah, the one on the left's a trapezoid. Good word. Go ahead.
I don't know if they're triangles.
They are triangles. Does anybody know what kind of triangles these are?
Oh, wait, no.
Go ahead.
Right angle?
They're right triangles, yes. All right. What about anything else you notice here? Davis?
No, I don't know what that is.
Well, these guys are called triangles. Why? Because they have 3 sides, right? Now, Davis gave the most technical name for these two guys, trapezoid, because one pair of sides is parallel, one pair is not parallel. But there's a more general name for a trapezoid based on the number of sides that it has. Go ahead.
Rectangle?
No, rectangle's a very specific type of the 4-sided figure that has right angles in it. This doesn't have that. Quadrilateral. You guys ever hear that term, quadrilateral?
Yeah.
What does quad always mean?
4.
So lateral means side. In football, if you're playing football and you throw the ball sideways, what do you call it?
Lateral.
Lateral, because it goes through the side. The ligaments in your leg, these ones on the outside here and on the inside, this is called the lateral collateral, which means the outside side. Medial collateral means the inside side. So lateral always means side. Now, trapezoid, quadrilateral, right triangle, right side. But what do you notice about the relative sizes of pair 1 compared to pair 2? What do you see there? I want somebody other than Ava and Davis, because they're all over this. Josh has helped out a little too. Somebody on this side of the room here. Giselle, go ahead.
I guess those two are like the exact same size.
Yeah, the two on the right, the triangles, are the exact same size. Is the pair on the left, the trapezoids, are they the exact same size? No. There's a fancy word in math that we use for the exact same size. And that fancy word is congruent.
Oh.
Congruent. Congruent means same size. Okay? So, boys, whenever I see two shapes that are the same exact size and shape, they're congruent. If they're not the same exact size and shape, then they're not congruent. Everybody say the word with me, congruent. And what does congruent mean? Same size and shape. Okay. Kind of follows that if they're all the same size, that it should be the same shape. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is tell me about these two. Do they look congruent? No, Josh, turn. They don't look congruent. But do they kind of look a little bit like each other? Yeah. So we have a word for when two figures are the same exact shape, but they're not the same size. Does anybody? No, not complimentary. That means that's up to 9. Huh?
Obsolete.
Huh?
I don't know, I just.
Obsolete
Never popped into my head.
means it's no longer useful. So if you consider this information no longer useful, it's most definitely
It
obsolete.
sounds like a shake term, so.
Isosceles?
No, that's the type of triangle.
Right, that's the type of triangle.
Obsolete. I said obsolete.
An example of obsolete would be in war, a bow and arrow.
Just learned that.
All right, that's pretty obsolete.
Yeah.
Now, the word similar.
Oh, well,
Now,
wait,
congruence means it has the same exact size and the same exact shape. Similar means mini-me. Remember Austin Powers? No? Well, Dr. Evil has a little clone, and his name in the movie is Mini-Me. He's exactly like him, just smaller. Can you see that these two triangles are exactly alike?
yep.
Yeah.
Just a little bit smaller. Now, yes?
I have one of those. I have a simile.
You have a mini-me?
No, my uncle does. Like.
Your uncle has a mini-me.
Yeah, it's like his
Is he
son.
trying to take over the world?
No, his son is like the exact same as him. He has like the same haircut, same clothes, and like
There you go.
same thing.
As long as he's not like loading up a nuclear missile to blow up the world. Now, similar, hey, similar triangles mean same shape, different size. So similar figures are same shape, but different sides. Now, I don't know how much you know about me, but I have several businesses. I do. I'm gonna retire 275 more teaching days after today. And I am going to ride off into the sunset. I am going to leave Long Island, Ava, face forward. I'm gonna be very happy to leave Long Island.
What about your kids?
I am going someplace.
Did you tell us?
I don't know, I'm not afraid to tell you, I just don't know for certain yet. Faith is a very important part of my life, and I try to go where I'm guided to go, but a really good friend of mine who's an atheist, atheist means that faith is not an important part of your life, he likes to remind me that man plans and God laughs. So, I don't know where I'm gonna end up going, but I'm gonna go somewhere, because I'm not staying here. Now, it's very expensive to live on Long Island, it's very stressful to live on Long Island. Yeah, very, yes. I could sell my house, take the profit from my house, buy a house upstate, and have no mortgage payment. Right now, I pay almost, well, I know what I pay. I pay $2,400 a month for my house.
That's a little.
That's a lot of money. Yes, it is. So I won't have that payment, and I can live very comfortably wherever I move to. So anyway, the big point is that I have planned for my future. For example, I opened up a business on Friday. Man's Best Friend Photography.
Oh, that's pretty lit.
Taking pictures of pets and animals and families and things like that.
Is it going good?
I'm very good at it. One day after the state assessment test, I will take some time to show you some pictures I've taken. Really, really good pictures. I'm very happy with them. I don't usually get happy with my pictures. I'm very happy with these.
Wait,
Hold it. Then I also have a business with dogs, right, with Ziva, hopefully having puppies and so on and so forth. But I have another business that I don't know if you guys know about.
Teaching.
I write songs.
What?
I write music.
Song.
I do. Well, you've heard me sing in the cafeteria. You saw me sing too.
Oh, man.
I definitely write music, and I wrote a hit song that came out a few years ago. And this particular hit song was so popular.
It's babies.
No, it was so popular that it was recorded in many different genres of type of music. For example, it was recorded in the pop version. Beyonce. She gave me a call. She called me up. She goes, "Yo, Bob, man, how you been?" I said, "Beyonce, sis, I'm doing good. How about you?" She says, "Listen, you got anything I can use? I need a new song." She says, "I need something good." I said, "I got a really happening tune for you." She says, "Really?" I said, "Oh yeah, this is rocking. This is a happening song." I said, "You can do all those dance moves to what you're doing and everything else." I said, "You're gonna love it." She goes, "All right, hit me with it. Hit me with it. All right, ready?" Me, 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 me. Okay. Now, obviously, she sings a little better than I do. I write the great music. I write the songs that make the whole world sing. And she sings. So, it goes like this. Little is the big ass, little is the big. Little is the big ass, little is the big. Little is the big.
Oh, you're singing good.
This is deep, isn't it?
No, it's not.
So deep.
It's a great song. I also made a heavy metal version. I made a country version. I lost my car, I lost my wife.
Oh my
I lost it all, but little is the big as a little is the big. I made a hip hop version. A little is big as a little is the big. So I got all of these different versions of my song. Now, it's a happening. It's a great tune, isn't it?
What did Beyonce say?
Here's what we end with. Ready? Here it is. Ready? Little,
Lil.
or as the Irish would say, little, or the British, little is the big, as little is the big. Now, hold it. Where's the little triangle? Right or left? Right. So I take the side of the little triangle, 6, over the corresponding, that means 8. That means the side of the big triangle that matches up with it. How long is the side that matches up with it? 8. As the side of the little triangle, N, is to the side that matches up with it. What is that? 8. Remember how to cross multiply?
Oh, yeah.
8N equals 96, N is 12. We'll do more of that the next few days. Hasta la vista, vaya con Dios, toodaloo, ta-ta. Arrivederci, smile a lot, ciao, arrivederci. Adios, amigos y amigas, cheerio, carushus, tadafis. See ya, enjoy, have fun. You're welcome.